Good evening. As it is evening right now as I'm recording this, and welcome to my second attempt at the Trinity Midweek Update. Excuse me. Uh, I'm stepping in again this week for Ram, who's enjoying, hopefully, a restful vacation. And just wanted to share a few things with you this week, bounce around a little bit, and hit a couple things. First of all, we have a sad uh, prayer concern that I'd like to share with you. I want to thank Kathy Drexler for doing the devotional prayer video this week and echo her sentiments of how nice it is that we can share and join into corporate prayer using video chat. We have had Jody Hernandez on our prayer list for quite a while. She is Glenn Eichsted's sister. And Jessica told me today that we just learned that her stem cell transplant did not take, and so she is going to hospice home care in Oshkosh. And so our prayers are with Jody and Glenn and the rest of the family as they go through this time of transition and in the end of life cycle. And so prayers to Jody and all of her family. And thank you, Jessica, for the update. I just wanted to share a little bit of an update with you also in terms of our first attempt at a virtual coffee hour, which we had on Sunday at 8:30. And hopefully everyone got the email update. It was a very nice time of sharing that we had. And last week I shared with you a picture of a sunset that I experienced when I was up north 2 weeks ago. And right now I'd like to just share my screen with you and give you a little taste of what we'd had for our coffee hour this week. So I'm going to go into the share screen mode right now, and hopefully you can get a taste of what we had. Felt a little bit like an episode of the Brady Bunch as we shared about a half hour of small talk, and so we had a good chance to bat around a few ideas regarding the choir and how things are going to move forward as we look to different ways to share worship, as well as different ways to just to make connections with each other. And so we had 9 people at one point in our video chat coffee hour, and we're hoping that everybody can bring along another friend next week as we do it again next Sunday, the 5th at 8:30. And so feel free to join in for a few minutes if you want to, or stick around for the whole time. It's nice to see everyone in this format. And so if you'd like some help trying to get this to work on your computer or your phone, I would be glad to try to help you as best I could. So please give me a call or send me an email, or contact Jessica at the church office, and she can give you my contact information. So it was nice to see everyone's faces, and this is how I saw my classes during the last 10 weeks of school this year. And to me, it made a big difference just to see everyone's face. And the nice thing about doing a Zoom meeting is that you don't have to wear a mask, so we can see everyone's smiling faces. And to me, that was the best part of this. So hopefully we can get others that want to join in, and just to say hi to everyone. And you can say as much or as little as you like. But like I said, it's nice to be able to sit down with a cup of coffee and share in some fellowship with each other. We are still planning on joining together in an outdoor worship, and the newsletter that just came out talked about that. And so we have a great history of outdoor worship at Trinity, along with the campgrounds, and it's, to me, is I'm going to stop the sharing here for a second. To me, it's a bit of history that I kind of missed out on because I was born 1 year after the last camp meeting at the Trinity grounds. But I remember hearing my grandma and grandpa and my dad talk about the uh, the outdoor meetings in the tabernacle, and so we're planning on getting together in some form or fashion on the grounds of Trinity Church on July 19th, and there will be more updates from Ram as we get closer to that. The last thing I'd like to talk about today here was related to a conversation that we had with the Stewardship and Finance Committee a couple weeks ago in talking about uh, God's economy and how it relates to our vision of our economy. And we've been hearing lots of stories in the news for the last few months about how our economy is crumbling. And for a lot of people, that's a very real situation in terms of their personal economy. And it brought back to me, um, just reminded me of one of my favorite movies of all time, and that is It's a Wonderful Life, starring Jimmy Stewart, in which his view of richness um, was changed through the course of the movie. And throughout this movie, he had great plans for travel and becoming a rich man in terms of monetary value. And at the end, when he was finally able to see that uh, God's rewards given to him for all the good deeds that he did over his lifetime. And it wasn't so much doing good deeds as it was just doing the right thing. And so in God's economy, the payback isn't always going to be in dollars and cents. But at the end of the movie, when his brother toasts him after all the selfless acts that George Bailey, the character, had done during that uh, the course of his entire lifetime, is as chronicled by the movie. And when his brother toasted him by saying, "To my big brother George, the richest man in town," it really does remind you that God's blessings come back to us, and His riches will be bestowed upon us in His time, not in our time. And so, even though we're in a great period of uncomfortableness, if that's the right word, uh, reminder that many of the characters in the Bible uh, were put into periods and situations where they were out of their comfort zone. And so they did not grow as Christians or as men of faith uh, by taking the easy road and having a shortcut to it. They had their faith tested, and the ultimate reward came after the judgment and uh, after their faith was proven. And so, with that, I'd like to just say, everyone, please have a good week. And next week, I'm hoping that, in addition to getting a few more people participating in our Zoom uh, coffee hour on Sunday, but also just a reminder that Ram's brother Stan is going to be giving the second half of his message this Sunday on YouTube. And I'm hoping that I can convince a special guest to join me for next week's midweek update. And so look forward to sharing that with you next Thursday. And so this is me signing off, saying have a good 4th of July weekend and stay safe and enjoy the fireworks. I'm sure we're all going to get some private shows by our neighbors this week, and just enjoy the beauty and the fun that goes with that, and continue to keep those on the prayer list in your prayers and your thoughts. And so thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week.